Welcome to Mine Explorers episode 70, where I am joined by Amanda Burgess again.
Me again.
And we are in the beautiful St. Ives, Cornwall, which you can see behind us. You can see this is my son Miko and our son, actually.
Yeah,
Big
I'll take
surprise.
credit.
I don't think she knows she's the mother yet.
Probably my dad get
A
lost.
shock.
Live on TV.
Paternity revealed.
The ghost of Jerry Springer is going to come popping over these rocks
Oh
back
my
here.
God.
So you can see the beautiful hill here, and this is beautiful St. Ives, and we are exploring tin country this week, which has been a lot of fun. How have you liked it?
I've enjoyed it immensely. It's been a lot of fun.
And
It's been fun. It's been interesting.
Fun. It's been interesting.
We've had English summer weather for sure. I think we packed kind of expecting some sunny days, and we've had one.
I think we've had English late spring weather mostly.
Maybe not quite summer weather yet.
Not quite summer, but it's been nice and rainy and misty and foggy.
Yeah. We had one sunny day when we went to the Falmouth Sea Shanty Festival.
That was nice.
Which was nice, and it was very beautiful sunny day. And then we had one more sunny day. We spent the entire day on the beach, some of the beautiful beaches you can see behind us. And then the rest of it's been gray and very English. But we got to tour a tin mine. Tour a tin mine.
Tour tin mine.
Tour a tin mine. We toured the Geevor Tin Mine. That's just really only about a half-hour drive from here.
Yeah.
So we are right in tin country.
Yeah, it was a windy half hour, but not too far. And this whole region was tin country. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you.
So it wasn't just limited to one specific area. All of Cornwall was tin. Our producer's letting us know that we're doing great. They mine tin and copper throughout all of Cornwall, and recently there's been interest in lithium extraction as well.
That's right.
Using DLE, direct lithium extraction technology from geothermal wells. But tin was huge here from early days. Ancient traders would come here during the Bronze Age to get tin and copper to make bronze, and then later on they had a big industrial boom, and tin was really big here until about 1985, when there was a major crash, and basically all tin production went to Malaysia, or it went to the Bolivia in South America, and now China dominates it.
Right.
Like many other minerals.
Grant, our tour guide, who has been a tour guide at the Geevor's mine for 8 years, but started working there when he was 17, which was fascinating. He said,
here's a picture of him at 17, which is pretty cool. I found this after he gave us the tour. We were looking through the Miner's Dry, which is phenomenal. It's very well preserved. And they actually wrote the day that they shut off the pumps. So the mine shut down around 1985, and then they didn't shut the pumps down until 1990, and they spray painted on a locker in the dry the day, basically the date of death for the mine, because not only were they mining deep underground, that shaft went about 1,500 feet down. Some of the shafts were as deep as 2,000 feet, but they were mining up to a mile out under the Atlantic Ocean.
Right, which is where Grant said he was mining.
Yep.
Yeah. But that was fascinating, and I don't remember what I was going to say about that.
Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, yeah, just about the mine shutting off because the price of tin, he said Malaysia and China crashed the tin price, and then that was the end of Geevor's.
So the price went from about $10,000, so 10,000 pounds a ton, a metric ton, down to about $3,400 a ton. So pretty significant crash on the price.
Right.
I mean, obviously all the margin gone, and then they slowly sold off machinery to keep the
Right.
pumps running, hoping that prices would recover and they'd be able to go back into production.
Right.
And then eventually they just ran out of money and had to shut the pumps down, because not only were they keeping fresh water out of the mines, but they were pumping salt water and keeping the Atlantic Ocean from getting down in there. So
Right.
a pretty serious crash. So they have a really great mill that we got
They
to tour, a
do.
really good miner's dry, and then there's a little underground tour that's it's
Right.
kind of like the tunnels on Tom Sawyer's Island at Disneyland.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, pretty small, not very interesting, but the mill is
Yeah.
fascinating, and unfortunately a lot of the equipment is missing. But
Right.
what they do have is 90 Wilfie shaker tables that are still
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Most of them still there. I'd
Most
say
of
they
them
probably
are
have at
still
least
there.
60 of them still in
Right.
place.
Yeah. So we got to see one of those running. That was interesting, watching the separation of the tin from everything else.
Yeah,
That was
so the processing was pretty basic.
Yeah.
Crusher to cone crusher, primary crusher, cone crusher,
Yeah.
to ball mill,
Yeah.
tables, crushed again,
Yeah.
more tables,
Right.
magnetic separation to take the iron out, and they produced a
Right.
70% tin concentrate that they shipped. In early days, they did local refining, and then in later days, it ended up going to Malaysia, which eventually took over
Right.
the market entirely. But in the early 19th century, Cornwall was the Silicon Valley of its day, really the hub of mining technology. And they produced, there's different figures, but it's a significant amount of the world's copper. Some statistics say up to 2/3 of the world's copper, but regardless of what it actually was, a very significant amount and a lot of tin.
Yeah.
And then there was a crash, another tin crash in 1866. There was a copper crash in 1866 and a lot of volatility in the tin market. So Cornish labor went global, and they estimate that between 1866 and the early 1900s, up to 250,000 Cornish miners left
Wow.
Cornwall to travel around the world. And they were really well known for the quality of their labor, their
Right.
expertise, chasing veins underground, mining them. And so they spread throughout districts throughout the world. They went to Africa, they
Right.
went to America, they went to the American West and contributed a lot there. And they went to South America, and they went to Australia.
Right.
And they were known as Cousin Jacks. And the moniker
Right.
is that whenever the foreman would ask, hey, I need to hire some people to do this job, they would say, I've got a Cousin Jack back home who can do it.
Right.
And so that was how they kind of created their professional network, and that's how they got the name Cousin Jacks.
Right. Now, one thing that was interesting, you touched on the technology. There was a lot of Cornish technology that we saw. The St. Ives Museum was fantastic. It showed one of the Cornish steppers to run the men up and down the shaft. That was interesting. But when we were at Geevor's, we actually saw Muckers out of Utah.
Yeah, they had the IMCO 12B overshot mucker, which was
Yeah.
invented in Eureka, Utah, and manufactured in Ogden, Utah.
Right.
And they had two of them there right out front near the shaft that they would have used later in the operation. So
Right.
kind of fun to see Cornish technology exported to the United States,
Yeah.
and then some Utah technology exported back to
Yeah.
Geevor.
Almost like being home,
Yep, it was.
but not.
Yeah, I mean, in mining's mining, so any mine anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
there's obviously differences and stuff, but this mine in particular, the way it was engineered, the way the mill was designed, it could have been anywhere. And the Cornish, I mean, a little bit about their technologies. In 1866, when they left and they went around the world, they brought several key technologies with them that have spread and really become part of mining today. Not only just the
Yeah.
lexicon and some of the terminology we use that originated here in Cornwall, but some of the technologies. So the Cornish built the Cornish pump, which really cut its teeth here, dewatering mines that were full of fresh water and seawater as they mined and chased these copper and tin ledges out under the ocean. But they brought the Cornish pump, which was instrumental for dewatering Virginia City, Nevada.
Right.
which enabled them to unlock the Comstock load and get all that. There's Cornish pumps in Utah and Ontario and in Park City.
Right.
And Park City, Tintic, and Bingham had a lot of Cornish engineering and Cornish miners. They brought the Cornish stamp mill, which you can see throughout the Western United States. The tribute contract system, so contract mining, where not only did they get paid a daily wage, but based on their skills and ability to really read the geology and do their own engineering, they could get a percentage of the profits from mining different parts of the mines.
Right.
So they would have their own ledges, and that system survived really until, just really in the last few decades as it kind of phased out in the United States, when there's just a lot less underground mining, a lot less underground miners, and then just bulk, large scale. They also were pioneers in mine safety and medical aid.
Yeah.
They had an early system where they could contribute a portion of their wages to a fund that could be used for aid and medical care, which would be a kind of a front runner to some of the systems that we have today.
Right.
And then, of course, the Cornish pasty.
I was going to say, don't forget the most important piece of technology, the pasty.
Tell me about it.
The pasty. What a treat. To be a true Cornish pasty, it does have to meet certain specs for vegetables and meat ratios, but it's just nice little short crust, kind of makes a taco shape and all crimped around the edges on the top, and you eat it with the fat side first and you hold your crimping.
Well, why do you hold the crimping?
Well, to keep the good bits from getting all dirty.
But why did they invent it that way?
To keep the good bits from getting dirty.
So the mines here are high in arsenic.
Oh.
So they had arsenic dust on their fingers a lot of the time.
That's what you're after, yeah.
Yeah, so they would hold it by the crust, and then they would eat the good bits so that they wouldn't get their dirty fingers and the arsenic dust all over the part that they would eat. And they would leave the crusty bits in the mine as a tribute to the Tommyknockers.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
The mine pixies, the Cornish mine pixies. Pixies?
Yeah, they're kind of gnomes. Yeah, I mean little mythical creatures. Yeah. And so they would leave them as a tribute. But there's some really great poems about the Tommyknockers, and unfortunately, I can't do it quite as well as some people. But I have some friends that have it memorized and can repeat the entire thing from heart. And it takes about 5 minutes if you do it right.
That's right.
They can do it with the accent and everything. But
maybe tie one into the end here.
yeah, highly worth listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely put a link to it.
There you are.
In the comments, and so you can check out the song.
It's worth
but
it.
definitely worth it. So really interesting to come back and see just the amount of modern mining and exploration that originated right here in Cornwall.
Right.
Which is really cool. I mean, with all those miners that left and they brought with them their culture and their technology and everything, and then to see it kind of all come back full circle with the way we do things today is really neat. So, what are you up to next?
What am I up to next? We've got to go. We've got to go back home. Oh, when I get home.
Yeah.
Oh. When I get home, we have the annual AAPL meeting in Salt Lake. That's exciting. So meet Landman from across all disciplines of Landman. That'll be fun. There's a few technical sessions I'm looking forward to. And then, of course, it's claim guard season. Renewals, maintenance.
Yep.
Yep.
And so you're running that this year.
I'm running that
you
this
always
year,
do.
as I do.
And you will be training a couple of new people to
Yes.
come in, and we'll eventually be landmen as well, which is fantastic.
That is exciting.
It'll be years till they can run claim guard because that requires special care. But
Yeah.
that's exciting that you're bringing people in. We're training new people.
Yeah, very
As we like to
exciting.
say, landmen don't come from schools. They're made,
Yep.
they're trained,
Yep.
and it's all on the job training and experience.
Yep.
So you're looking forward to the AAPL conference. What technical sessions are that caught your eye? What are they about?
Oh, I don't remember those right now.
Put you on the spot.
You sure did. I read the program and said, I'll be there.
So
Since I
Crystal
signed up.
is at the AEMA summer meeting, and she said they have a really good schedule. And they're talking a
good.
lot about exploration, and they're really kind of riding this wave with the interest in critical minerals and everything going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So we have a presence up there. You're going to be at the AAPL meeting. You're getting ready for claim guard. But what are some of
Right.
the trends you're seeing in Landman right now?
Trends in Landman. I don't know if it's really a trend. It's just we've had some strange situations lately that just highlight the need for a landman. Not knowing where county lines are was the most interesting.
Yeah.
That one was kind of wild, where between the county assessor and the master title plat, literally nobody knew where the county line was.
Isn't that
it-
fascinating? Two
did-
different counties disagreed on where the county line was.
In this day and age with AI and the technology that we have, nobody could discern what the actual county line looked like. So as we did our best.
It just goes to show in mineral exploration and mining, like, there's always new challenges. You never know what you're solving. You're just so many disciplines coming together to put projects together.
Right. I feel like that's solving an old challenge.
Yeah. Well, and it's just a remote area, and so I think
Right.
it was one of those things that everyone just said, well, that's somebody else's problem for another day. And
Right.
then now the other day's here, and it's not been solved yet.
And it's not somebody else's problem, it's mine.
Yeah. So part of the interesting tie-in that I wanted to kind of bring together for this episode, and it's something that I also discussed in my July article for North American Mining
Right.
about the tie-in, is the Cornish system. They were valued around the world for their expertise and their engineering ability, and just known as being some of the best hard rock miners on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
These days we have a similar system with consultants and experts that travel around all over the world. So like a junior miner may come to Utah, for example, and want to open up a mine, and maybe it's an epithermal gold deposit they're exploring for. They'll bring in us to handle the land work and some of the permitting, the
Right.
regulatory stuff, because we're local and we have that local knowledge. But their geologists and engineers may come from Australia, from Perth,
Right.
from Vancouver, from South America,
All over.
and they bring in those experts who have the expertise.
Yeah.
And then, not so much now with the actual labor itself being done by specialists, although some
Right.
of it is.
Some, for
But
sure.
a lot of it, equipment operators are equipment operators, and they can translate their skills from other areas. Unlike the unique skill of being able to run a jack leg
Right.
efficiently or drill a hole,
Right.
by hand. It's a little bit different, but a lot
Right.
of the technical expertise is still much like the Cornish were, and very mobile, travels around the world. So I think I said 250,000. I think it was actually up to 500,000 Cornish miners left between 1866
Wow.
and the early 1900s to travel around the world, which for such a small area, even today, that would be a huge chunk of the population.
Certainly.
I mean, Cornwall is not a huge place. There's not any large cities. Like, you can imagine back then that was a huge displacement. So pretty
Right.
interesting. And a lot of those people never came back. They settled
Right.
elsewhere and spread roots. And,
Yeah.
some of those generations of people are still in mining today.
Yeah. Well, Val at the St. Ives Museum did say the Cornish are everywhere except Cornwall.
There you go.
There you have it.
There you have it. Cool. Well, it's been great having you on.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, one more thing I just wanted to ask is what are you seeing for trends in exploration right now?
Oh,
from
trends
a landman perspective?
just from a landman perspective or just in general? I mean, as far as commodities, you've probably talked about it. Tungsten is still hot, cooling a little bit, but still going for sure. Landman trends, you know, with people picking, brownfield is always exciting, I guess, because it feels like more of a sure bet, but you know, a lot of those brownfields come with their own minefields, so
there's
certainly
reasons
seen,
a lot of them haven't
yeah.
been developed, and some of those issues haven't been solved yet.
Right, so there's certainly quite a bit of due diligence to be done with a lot of the brownfield exploration, just making sure everything's buttoned up as far as land status and mineral rights. That's kind of been a big thing lately.
A lot of due diligence, yeah, which is good. I'm glad everyone's doing due diligence right now.
Yes. Do your due diligence on the front end, please.
Yep.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, lots of new project acquisitions. We're still booked out full. Copper is always interesting.
Yeah.
Still antimony exploration going on.
A little
Tungsten. Gold and silver picking up a little bit, but also kind of bouncing along. In kind of the macro news, gold's taken a big hit recently because it's looking like we're looking more hawkish than dovish on the Fed side. So where a lot of rate cuts were priced in later 2025, early 2026, now we're looking at potential rate hikes later this year, at least according to the dot plot. Those can always change. Iran looks like it's over for now, although that's always kind of a volatile situation.
We'll see.
And so gold prices are cooling a bit, but overall they've held up pretty well, and the miners themselves have held up pretty well. But a lot of the story in the U.S. exploration-wise is still very much critical minerals focused.
Yep. That buzzword just keeps buzzing.
Yep. Well, I think it's more than just a buzzword now. I think there's serious legs behind it.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I feel like, you know, when we first started talking critical minerals and the update to the critical minerals list, it felt very trendy and buzzy, but I think now there's actually something to it, and we're seeing a lot of the programs hold on to it. So
yeah, and once again, so there's some policy and industry things happening, but also the story's still largely being driven by China. So particularly like in tungsten and things like that, they're restricting exports, they're consuming a lot of their own supply now internally and things like that. That's continuing to drive that up. And then they're also looking at things like building their own stockpiles and things again. So it's changing that. But anyway, from the shores of Cornwall, where a lot of mining history comes from, not just locally but globally, thanks for watching Mine Explorers episode 70. Tune in next week for more excitement, adventures, and mining talk.